when you understand your purpose, it will help you live in your peace. And when you live in your peace, you'll be more productive in life. And when you're more productive in life, you live a more powerful life. So if we're going to live in our power, we got to understand our purpose. We got to live in our peace so we can live in our peace so we can be more productive. Okay? That's what it's all about. And most people don't understand their purpose, so they're not living in peace. And if we don't live in peace, it's hard to be productive. Like when you're in your mind and anxiety and you're worried about everything, and it's hard to be productive in life like that. So that's what I'm going to teach y'all in this program. How do you understand your purpose, right? How do you live in your purpose so we can experience peace, so we can be more productive? And when we're more productive, we feel more power in our life. Like when you're doing things, you're accomplishing things, and you're making a change, and you're hitting your goals, and you're moving forward, you're progressing in life, you just feel more powerful. You do. And so we're going to start that at the top of the year more than likely. If I get enough requests for it, we're going to do it. And again, I have an event in Houston. We haven't released tickets yet, but I'm telling y'all right now, Houston, Texas, the Protect Your Peace experience. It'll be a little bit different if you came to Dallas or New York, but the Protect Your Peace experience, January 5th in Houston, Texas, we're going to do it. You know what I mean? I had it on my heart to do it. And the season I'm in, y'all, like I'm being loyal to my ideas. You know, life is short, man. When my mom died, I made a promise to myself. And I'll share this with y'all. When my mother died, it changed a lot for me. You know what I mean? Like just being real with y'all and transparent. Like I haven't had a full night of sleep since my mom died. And it doesn't and you know, I'm not saying I don't get rest, but I would say 99.9% I'll wake up. And, you know, obviously that grief is still there. It's changed a bit. It's more moved to gratefulness. And I know that's kind of hard to say, but instead of me waking up with tears, I just wake up in appreciation. But very often I got to remind myself that it's real. You know what I mean? My nephew, I haven't met him yet, but my nephew was born a few days ago. And I just thought about, dang, I wish mom was here to see nephew. You know what I mean? I haven't met him yet, but I plan to go meet him here soon. But, you know, it's when my mother passed, like it made death real for me. You know what I mean? I've experienced my grandmother's, like I have no grandparents. Like I've experienced a lot of death in my life. Like I just have. But this, like when you lose a mom, right? When you gain her as an angel, it's just different. Like people have always told me that. I'm like, oh, okay, death is death though. Like it don't matter who it is, but it just hits different. And when my mother passed, it did. Like it hit hard, obviously. But the big realization was like, oh, this is real. Like when I saw mom getting wheeled out, like out my house that I grew up in, you know what I mean, on a stretcher, put into a hearse in a body bag, and you seeing her cold body just lay there in our living room where she used to be so, man, this is a message in itself, so alive in, you know what I mean? Like, it's real. Like my mom died in our house. You know what I mean? Like that's tough. And you watch her leave and you know, like she's not coming back. Right. And I say this because I get emotional. Obviously I miss my mom for sure, but it's like, I get emotional because I don't want y'all to feel sorry for me. Like this is where all this passion comes from, y'all. Like, I know I'm not perfect. I know, like, you know, I'm not everything for everybody. I don't try to be. I know I try my best to be the best to everybody as best as I can. I know I fall short of that sometimes. But I don't want people to feel sorry for me. You know, and some of y'all can relate to this, you know what I mean? That y'all been through loss in your life. But I don't want you to feel sorry for me. Like, don't take these tears of like me, like grieving and still being super, super sad. Of course, I'm sad that my mom's not here, but I'm to a place of acceptance, right? It's good. Like she's living her life. She probably even thinking about us. She in her peace. Like she's like, I ain't going back. I done lived my life down there, but I don't want to feel sorry for you, you know? And the whole purpose of me telling y'all this is like, and I never shared this, when she was leaving, like for her final, like joyride, out our house, it hit me. I'm like, this is real. Like, it's done. And of course, as believers, we go into a better life, right? So it's really an accomplishment if you think about it like that. But it's like, it's real. Like, there's no do-overs. It's done. As I said in my spoken word, you need to stop living like you're getting a shot at this, because the truth is you only get one. There will come a day when tomorrow doesn't come. So you have a choice. You can face everything and rise, or you can fear everything and run, right? And so it changed something in me in the most positive way. And it made me realize, like, we don't have forever. Forever comes with an expiration date. And I've said that before my mom passed, but it made it really real for me. Like, oh, snaps. Okay. So I say all that to say this. Y'all see me doing a lot more, I'm sure. You like, dang, Trent is doing shows. Trent is doing this and that, books and court. Like, he's everywhere. He's going live every single morning, because it put a sense of healthy urgency in my life. A healthy urgency. It's like, I realize more than ever that the shot clock is going down. There's no more time being put on the clock of life. Like, you're not getting time added. You know what I mean? It's going down. And so for me, there's so many things that I want to do, so many things that I want to create. And so I've been loyal to my creativity. It's the best way I can put it. I've been loyal to it, to say, you know what? It's not about success. It's not about, a numeric, value. It's not about like, oh, are people going to love it? It's just about me honoring my creativity, like what's in my heart. So I'm loyal to the ideas. So anytime I have an idea, I'm like, let's do it. Let's do it. Event, let's do it. Houston, you want to do Houston? Let's do it. Thought about it? Yeah, let's go. If it makes sense, it aligns, okay, let's do it. Purpose, mindset, we talk about with the team, let's do it. Put it out, why not? And that's where I'm at in my life. And I think so many of us, and this is a whole nother lie, but I think so many of us, we aren't loyal to our ideas and our creativity. Like, we have so many things inside of us, like so many dreams, so many ideas, and so many things that we want to do. And we allow the how. We allow oh man, like, how am I going to do this? How is it going to happen? We allow that to keep it inside of us. If you ever heard me speak, I talk about the gift. I'm like, God is giving you a gift, right? When we get our birthday gifts and we get gifts from people, we show it to the world, but God has given us gifts inside of us that we have left wrapped up. And anything you suppress will turn into depression. Even your gifts and your talents. Some of us are depressed, not because it's clinical. Some of us, it is clinical. Some of us depressed because we went through things, but some of us we're depressed because we are suppressing our gifts and our talents. And we're not going to give birth to that. We're not birthing that into the world. And we're keeping things inside of us that are meant to be released and given to the world. So for me, my stress relief is like being loyal to my ideas and creativity. It's like, okay, cool. This is an idea that I got. Let's do it. It's not about the success or failure. Let's do it. It's about getting it out, because this is what's true, y'all. People won't tell you this, and I'll tell you this. I can attribute this to my success more than anything. It's being loyal to the ideas, even if the idea isn't the idea. So what does that mean? Just imagine in your life, right? You have this, or just imagine there's this huge wall, right? Huge wall. And there's a lot of walls like dominoes. They're just stacked. They're just stacked like dominoes. And oh man, this is kind of a good analogy. I'm about to say this one. But just imagine your life and your ideas as dominoes, right? You ever put up the dominoes? I know you all did it as kids. Like, you put up the dominoes and you you make a train of dominoes and you push it and knocks them all down, right? We've all done that. And I think about our ideas like that, right? Think about your creativity, your dreams like that. See, a lot of us, we think that the big thing is the first domino. So if I take action on this domino, then okay, I should be successful. If I take action on this idea, then it has to work out, right? If I take action on this creativity, then this business, this one has to work out. But I know this is true, right? Sometimes you have to go through it to get to it. sometimes you have to take the uncomfortable action on the idea that you think is going to work just to activate the next idea. So you knock down that domino, and that domino does what? You create positive soul momentum, as I call it. I call it soul momentum. So what happens? Life momentum. You now take an action. Guess what? That idea, it falls flat. Boom. But it goes to the next idea, and it keeps on knocking down ideas until you get to the idea. And so I think about my life like that, my creativity like that. That literally has helped me build this thing, right? Through God's grace and God's mercy and God's will for my life and you guys' support, build this thing called Rehab Time. When I first started Rehab Time, the goal that I had, because it was just like a vision, you're all into the mission statements, it was to be the #1 online self-help page in the world. I don't know if it's that, but I know we're making a huge dent in the world throughout this time. And it took me doing the idea that I thought was going to be the idea, and it didn't, it created momentum. So all you're seeing and witnessing in live form is me knocking down the dominoes. That's it. It's me knocking down the dominoes. And so some of you in here today, all you have to do is knock down that domino, is to take the action. You might not know what the last domino is. You might not know what the destination is. Most people don't. But don't allow the lack of knowledge of the destination to prevent you from taking the first step in the journey, right? Don't allow the lack of knowledge of the destination. Some of us, we get paralyzed. We get paralyzed at our start because we don't understand the finish. We don't always know where we're going. I tell people all the time, it's not about knowing where you're going. It's about knowing where you're no longer staying. It's about taking that first step. And that first step is being loyal to that thing, to say, you know what? This is what I know how to do. This is the idea. Okay, let me do this. So for me, and I'm sorry I'm telling you all this. I know y'all got a busy day. I'm sorry if you're late for work or you at work and you're disturbed or you're not being focused on your work. But it's just on my heart to talk about this, and I got to get out of here because I got to work out, get my workout in. I got to make sure I'm getting my sexy back, y'all. You know what I mean? I got to take care of my health. It's New Beginnings Challenge. I can't tell you how to do something that I'm not doing. So y'all about to see me transform. We about to see each other transform. We're going to do Zoom calls, by the way. We got Protect Your Peace nights coming. We got a lot of stuff coming, man. So make sure y'all locked in. But, I think for y'all and for you, if you just say today, what's the thing? So the thing for me, and this is crazy, that's why I love going live, was me going live. That's it. In 2011, I picked up my cell phone. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know what Rehab Time would be. I would be a liar if I told you I planned this out. I didn't know what it was, but I just knew where I didn't want to stay, and I knew what I had and I worked with. So I pressed live. I pressed live on the cell phone, and a few people showed up, maybe 30, maybe 25. I pressed live. I'm going to take it all the way back for y'all in the journey. I pressed live. I press play, right? This is for my VIP hour. It's the after party, y'all. So we getting crunk in the after party. Some of us in here, we need to press play, right? We need to press play. Stop pressing rewind. Stop trying to fast forward everything to see how it's going to end. Just press play in this game of life. In this life that you live in, press play. My press play moment was literally me going live, was literally me doing a conference call. Some of y'all don't know about this. There's a lot of influencers that are huge now. Sarah Jake Roberts was on it. Real Talk Kim was on it. I can name a list of people before they were who they are that was on my conference calls. Literally back in 2009, 10, 11, 12, whatever it was, on my conference calls, speaking. And I said, hey, because I saw the greatness in them. And I said, hey, come and speak on my conference calls before the world knew about them like that. And we did these conference calls, and I'm going to tell you what happened. The first conference call we did, it was a free conference call every Wednesday night. The first conference call we did, maybe 30 people showed up. Maybe. And 30 people that we knew. So my team was like, invite people. When we got to the end of the conference calls, the reason why we stopped doing it, because the conference calls lines only went up to 1,000 people. And within a year, we got to 1,000 people, and the line just kept shutting off. It kept being dead. So we stopped it because we kept losing the call. The call kept shutting down. We went from 30 people to 1,000 in a year for a conference call where people would call in and listen to the speaker speak about something. That's how rehab time started. And some of you might even know about that, like confirm it. That's how rehab time started. Was a freaking conference call and me pressing live on Facebook. And then the other area, and I'll leave after this because I gotta go. The other area was me pressing play on events. Okay? I didn't have, man, y'all ain't feeling me. Y'all ain't feeling me. I'm bringing it back to square one for y'all because some of y'all be looking at me. I know it. I be seeing, oh, Trent, it's easy for you to say. I'm bringing it back to square one for y'all, to the first domino. The other thing I did, I pressed play on live events. Okay, I pressed play on live events, and some of y'all know because maybe some of you were there. Back in 2011, I said, man, like we got to reach people in person, but I ain't got no budget. I can't rent out no theater. I can't rent out no hotel ballroom. I ain't got the money for that. Like, I'm working at 24-hour fitness. I'm getting $40 to teach a class an hour. I ain't got the money for that. So instead of thinking about the money I didn't have, I put my hustler mentality to mind. I say, you know what? Man, what can we get for free? Did my research. Oh, we can get a library room for free? Cool, let's go to the library. I know somebody who got a classroom that's a teacher, and they said we can use that classroom? Cool, let's do it. So what I did was I pressed play, and I literally went from city to city. This is facts, documented. Went from city to city and had live conversations. It cost like $20. Actually, I think I did donations. Say, if you can pay something, pay it. Rehabbers showed up. I brought merch. They bought all the merch up. See Martin on my past shirts. Right? We made some money there, maybe a few $100s to cover our travel, to cover the room that we stayed, like the hotel room. And literally, I pressed play on that. And then now you fast forward to now, and we do events, and there's 1,000 people that show up, 500 people that show up. It's all because I pressed play. Anna said I was there, then see, she know. All because I pressed play. It was a live conversation. I had no idea what I was going to talk about. I said, well, let's just all sit in a circle and have a conversation. I'm going to just talk about life. And people ask me questions. That's what happened. I pressed play on that. That's it. Wasn't no millions of followers, by the way. Wasn't no blue check by my name, by the way. It wasn't, oh, Trent Shelton. I know him, by the way. It was like, Trent Shelton, who's that? But I pressed play. So, as I leave here today, I just want to tell you, a big part of self-esteem is just press and play. It's knocking down that first domino. So what's that first domino going to be for you? What is it? And remember, that's just the first step. The first step has nothing to do with your final destination.